delay the Nutsa early game rotations here. Make sure that he doesn't get as comfortable as we speak of, because game 1 Musang King, he had a field day. He was taking every single resource on towards the Gorge, which made him the MVP thus far. So in game 2, they really need to think of something to really limit the King in the jungle.
Yeah, it's all about that lane, that jungle matchup that you're talking about. Yang Jian going into the KIC, I felt like was going to be one of those heroes that has one of the strongest ones, but the cream to the crop is basically the Neza has actually taken that spot, has been one of the toughest junglers to deal with.
And this will be game number 2 between HomeBois Blackshoe Esports taking on Nova Esports here. With the drafts being locked in, coming in for both of these squads, you will have to see the proper execution coming in from Nova, especially here. To do well on the Da Qiao and also the Yang Jian, this is not an easy task.
Not easy at all.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, First Blood once again is going to be a very important juncture for this game, and as well as that initial trade. The initial trade at the 4-minute mark, right? We've seen Nova, they got their Tyrant, but they couldn't find value off of it, and instead it turned into an advantage for HBSE because they got a T1, they got the buffs, everything to counter whatever Nova has with the Tyrant buff.
And really, to talk about Tyrant these moments, right? If you really make a mistake at the 9th-minute mark, that really damages your tempo throughout the game, because we know you can die at any moment in time before the 10th minute mark, but once you hit that 9-minute 30 seconds and you blunder, immediately it means like no more team fights, the Shadow Tyrant is freely given over to the enemy team, which was what happened in that game just now. But hey, that's game 1. These pro teams, they have all it takes to bounce back in game 2. This will be Grand Finals game 2. HBSE taking on Nova.
Nova Esports right now must win, dare I say. I think that they cannot be down 0-2. I think that that would be a world of hurt for them. I mean, they've been there, and they have not been able to dig out of that hole at times.
I can feel your call. I can feel the aggression coming out from Nova Esports as well. They have pushed Guiyu to use his flash in this 44-second mark. And right now, Xuan knows about the rotations. What can he do with this information?
Yeah, but Juan might not be in a great spot. He's going to try to just get under the tower. That was a good gank attempt by HBSC, but the vision from Juan made sure that he was going to be safe.
I mean, if they can get this secure, they would be good. It does get secure by Waypit. Great movement. And now Waypit's level 2, which means Sea of Fate should be available.
Yeah, and going into this one, but the Space Sprite is going to be the next big piece. Those Severing Surges are going to be annoying. Xuan just dealing with the minions, taking that out. Waypit maybe goes for the steal. He doesn't want to risk it.
No point risking it, right? We've already seen the difference between 2 of the top tier teams, especially we're only left with this 2, right? One minor mistake, HBSE turned that into a huge advantage against Nova in game number 1. You don't want to make the same mistakes. Lessons must be learned.
Yeah, must be learned at this point. And I think Nova Esports, if anything, this is one where you're kind of like, okay, let's funnel to the right heroes, the right amount of net worth. CY's the guy, Bucci's the guy. Everyone else is kind of secondary on this lineup.
So right now, it's looking like they want to go for the setup here, but it's not going to be working. Xuan going to be just pushed away, has to use the flash as well. Here's the big problem for Xuan though. He is having a level gap against Guiyu. Guiyu is freezing the lane.
Freezing the lane, making it tough for him. I mean, Xuan is now going to be 4, but you don't have flash. Now you've got to play a little bit scared in the sense that, yeah, you have Final Frenzy, but if you're out of position, you're out of position.
Yeah, and once again, HBSE putting maximum value across the gorge here, taking the steal of that camp on that spike kill piece. Not the biggest loss, but all these little things add up. You can see there's a very slight gold advantage going to the side of HBSE already.
Yeah, taking that one. And again, just more farming efficiency with Musang King. Once he hits that point and he's flying in with that Skyfall to that backline, you're looking at the Nova squad. I mean, Wendy and Muchi and even Waypit, very vulnerable.
Yeah, very vulnerable. Especially if Muchi is going to be forced to use his flash or his infinite vases early before this 4-minute mark, right? And that's totally possible with Vivi, because with the rolling raid, the frag grenade lowers your defenses, you get to be taken down really quickly, really easily as well.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking about lane matchup, the Lady Soon and Loom in a vacuum, not looking at players and all that, you're gonna give the edge to the Loom though, right?
I actually give it to the Lady Sun. Because with the lower defenses, yes, you can kind of get your way out with the Infinite Vases, but in terms of pure damage output, I would give, because of the added mobility, to Lady Sun.
Okay, all right. Let's see how that one plays out. But Vivi has really stepped it up in the KIC, right? We got to give him props, because there were definitely questions of, like, is he able to carry this team? And you're seeing this is a well-oiled machine, and Vivi has been a critical component of that.
And that is a perfect timing to hit, right? Vivi, do we think he has the best performance in KIC today? Not yet, right? But he has improved significantly since day number 1.
Yeah, you don't have to be the best player in a team of all-stars. I mean, Guyu's been the guy, Musan King as well. They've been having a lot of eyes. Also Jihong, right? And as well as Jay. Everybody's really been in the spotlight, so you don't need to worry. All you need to be is just consistent, and you're able to end games.
Like we said, right? HOK is not about an individual game. It's really about the team play. The better team will win, whether you like it or not.
Okay, I hate that because when I lose my ranked games, I'm just like, no, they were not better than me, right? I just had some really bad teammates.
Well, too bad. Right now, Gui actually manages to pull some attention away from the side of Nova. Although they have prior over this Tyrant Pit, which means this one should go into the hands of the side of Nova.
Well, the ultimate shell was committed by Vivi. I thought he was going to get that steal, but just not enough damage. I mean, CY with that smite. This is a different game, number 2, taking that first big neutral.
Okay, but with that being said, now then is, can you get the free damage in? Flaming Palms really important to be landed by Muji. Needs to be on the important members as well.
And look at how CY being aggressive. This is what you want to do. They didn't do this in game 1. They didn't contest Musan King. He was off the map almost the entire game, came back in with all of the weapons that you could ask for because his farm was just out of control.
Yes, but the main thing here is the fact that they're not stopping these steals. Small camps being stolen over time will add up. And even though they're keeping close right now, Nova doing a good job. HBSE, what a position to be in. They have the goalie, they have a little bit of map advantage. And even though they gave away the Tyrant, it looks like Nova couldn't find any value with it.
Yeah, I like it how you bring that up. I mean, the small things, right? And that's really what helps propel these teams to that advantage when they take it. Because, like, the big mistakes, these two teams do not make.
Yeah, it's very important. Goal sharing, the fact that HBSE is actually maximizing the goal sharing by making sure that it's always 3 different members, right? So Zhe will get tankier, and right now
yeah, Muji, he was going to be on, but Waypip tried to go. Vivi's going to flash away. Zhe shows up, and he's just like, hey guys, where's the party?
Yeah, the save comes in, and Muji will be sent home, but hang on!
Oh, in the mid lane, Musa King getting very low. CY gets first blood, taking him down.
And he will survive as well!
Oh, She-Hulk tried to flash on forward, but here comes Guyu, gets the double, taking them both out.
Not allowed. Every single time Nova feels like, okay, we got the advantage. HBSE take the cane and whip their backs.
I mean, Guyu, just the timing, right? I mean, he's always there when you need him. Oh, Waypit taking a lot. Oh, the Sea of Fate on out. Jiong putting that pressure on.
Yeah, this is a tight situation once again for the side of Nova, but this is where the most minute of differences will be had. Unending Sorrow going to be used. The heals coming out super valuable for HBSE.
A lot of value, right? That sustain, just being able to just hide in that mid lane, something to take note of. The sustain from the HBSE side is legit, right? I mean, you also have the Dolia as well. They could literally sit under that tower at times.
And you know, Jody didn't even have to use his heal, which is a big concern for the side of Nova, because if you can't force out the common spell usages, you can't force out the ultimates as and when you please. Bad situation.
Yeah, the Unending Sorrow. He's going to be aggressive. Infinite Vastness used by Muji. He has to just stay alive. But Xuan chasing after VV, not able to get any to catch with a Skyfall, and Xuan in a bad spot, but the final Frenzy, and he gets on out.
Yeah, I mean, he had his ultimate. Now it's gone. If they catch
CY with that Heaven and Earth. Sorry. It's going to be the end of that.
Yeah. If Xuan gets taken out again, then it's not going to be a good case because he does not have the Undying form again. So we'll take a look at Nova here. What kind of moves can they make? Muji, no more ultimate as well, just has the flash.
He does have the flash, but he's going to be aggressive. He's being supported by Waypit in that top lane. And in this mid lane, this is super annoying. I mean, the amount of pushback and the heals, like, you can't really deal with these two without a numbers advantage.
I mean, that's why the answer is really clear. Now, the attempt onto Xuan, he's not going to give his life here for sure, but it's more about trying to be present to make sure that the amount of damage that they can do on the structures is not going to be enough.
Yeah, and Nova Esports, now they're going to get jumped on potentially by Guyu, who's kind of dashing, like poking and prodding a little bit, and Nova Esports are like, okay, we got to play a little bit safer. Let's extend this game, even though they're down about 2K.
Sure, this one
the flash away, the Skyfall goes right in, the Final Frenzy's going to be used a little bit early, but he's going to be fine, gets on out, using those skills to the maximum here, and now CY, he's going to be stunned. Muji showing up, the Unending Sorrow completely dodging out that Flaming Palm, but CY looking to hound in forward, he's going to back off now.
Nothing. It's all a bait, right? Nova being baited out, take a look at what's happening at the top. This is all to make space so that you can actually get the split push off. And this is going to be a guaranteed T1. Now, even with all of these distractions, HBSE, they've managed to get the gold lead as well.
Yeah, I mean, Nova Esports, they expended a lot of ults, and all they did was survive.
Yes.
Right? They didn't get any sort of advantage out of it. They were actually pushed back. So HBSE, very happy with that. And now with these long cooldowns on, I mean, now you can take the Tyrant essentially for free.
Yep, so it's a 1-for-1 now. They get the next Tyrant of the game, 8.5-minute mark. This is also a position where you get to hold strength over Nova. You don't allow them to take unnecessary fights. Or if they take a bad fight, you win, you get the 10-minute mark Tyrant.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of what they're looking for. But again, the HBSE, the way that they're kind of dodging most of this, and the Unending Sorrow used it with that Celestial Melody from Xie, keeping himself alive.
Yeah, but look at the value. Now you're constantly pulled across the map. Nova have no answers. T2 at the bottom being pressured as well. T1 in the top, taken. And now, all of a sudden, 3,000 gold ahead. HBSE very much in control.
Very much in control, and you're seeing this map control by the HBSE side because you have the Neja. You can be anywhere and you're able to provide all that damage. We saw this in the Blacklist International Series and where Joshi was able to go from lane to lane at will.
Yeah, and this is where it gets very irritating because Zhong is tanking so much. And once you force this ultimate, okay, you think it's over. No, the refresh comes in from the side of Zhe, and Zhong once again,
they actually decide to go in the infinite fastest. Guyu not scared, diving the T2 tower, and now Guyu taking a couple shots. He's going to be backing off. Juan is still up in there, trying to deal with them and trying to push them away. They take the bottom T2, and now Juan is in a bad spot, the final frenzy, but CY looking to go in. He might have dove in way too deep. CY is getting focused, but Nova Esports somehow survive with all 5 members.
Survive, but they're limping. Look at the value. HBSE get everything on the bottom side of the map as well. Azure Golem, this one going into the hands of the side of Zhe. They want that CDR, they want that magic regeneration as well, for the mana regeneration, sorry. And with that, it's going to be 3,000 still ahead, and this is a Shadow Tyrant on the hands and on the menu.
Yeah, looking to take this one away, but they forced Nova Esports back. I mean, HBSE playing it to the perfection. I mean, yeah, it's great to get those kills. CY looking to hound in 4, but Jihong with that sustain, the Unending Sorrow. He's going to go forward, tries to go for Wendy, who flashes over the wall. Guyu's going to look to chase. He's got to go golden, but Wendy gets picked off. Guyu finding him out. CY gets that revenge, but here comes the Skyfall. He wants to go on to Muchi. In the bottom side, you're seeing that Vivi's just going, but CY with his Heaven and Earth mode is just looking to chase Vivi down, gets that pick with that triple kill, but Jihong gets the return.
And there's a cleanup. HBSE still take the better end of this fight. They are in a much better spot. Musang King is at level 14. He has the level advantage. He has the Azure Golem as well. And Zihong can wave clear. No issue for this guy.
And we knew going in that the junglers, all eyes would be on them. Both of them surviving. The fact that they were doing all that damage, they're on the back line tearing it up.
Yeah, they have no answers. Nova right now, they have to try and seek what is this next move that HBSE are planning, right? Because it seems like at every corner, every turn, every decision that Nova makes, HBSE knows about it, and they're making them, they're punishing them for it.
Yeah, I feel like HBSE right now are doing like the Minority Report. They know what's coming, right? And so, I mean, DJ can break it down.
Mission report, 1999, and we're going straight in. This is the flash by the side of Wendy here. And look, the Splendor was a great move, but Guyu is ready to trade his life. And this buys a lot of space for Vivi. Vivi did well to last so long, which binds attention away from the side of Nova's lineup, which also gives Musang King the ability to finish off Muchi on the other side. So it's a big trade. Farm laner for farm laner, you don't really care at this point.
Yeah, you don't care too much, but CY with that Heaven and Earth mode, not able to get the Tyrant, and now Nova Esports really have no reason to fight, especially since they've lost Muchi here.
Yeah, and Xuan's going to be taken down as well. And you see the main difference?
Yeah.
CY is always in the middle of the entirety of HBSE. And at the same time, Musang King is free to do whatever he wants. That Tyrant was free for the taking. No one there to bother him.
Yeah, CY, when he goes Biggie size mode with that Heaven and Earth mode, I feel like he's just like a bigger target. For like, okay, actually we just back off from this giant monument, but now they find CY. They're going to do a decent amount of damage. He's going to see off fate out of this one, but now HBSE turn their attention to the mid lane.
Yep, they have 55 seconds to do as much structural damage that they can. And looks like one more kill. Wendy!
Wendy gets sniped out! Jihong with the play just way too much. He thought he was fine.
Dude, this version of HBSE is just so entertaining. They're so strong. There's no gaps.
No gaps whatsoever. They're taking everything. You step
One
out,
more.
they find Wave Pit. They get the pick off. Invictus is all back for Mucci. They take the T3, and now CY running for his life. He's gonna hide under this T3, but they don't care. HBSE in the enemy base are looking to take game number 2 in a bit of a hurry, but Nova Esports, they don't have the minions right now. They will be here. Jiyoung does the play onto Mucci. He's been stunned. He's gonna be back in his fountain. Chuan is gonna be picked off, and now HBSE just waiting their time for the next minion wave, but finally, Guyo a little too deep at this point.
They still lose this. If they choose to aggress again, they can take this. But HBSE, very disciplined. They say, we'll back off. We've gotten what we came for. We're taking the 2 T3s in the mid and the bottom. And with this, a 7,000 goal lead as well. HBSE, just a completely different beast in the grand finals.
I mean, the only thing holding them back was the minion wave, right? Like the Nova Esports lineup, they have a decent amount of wave clear. So that it gave them essentially a lifeline, but for how much longer?
That took me a little bit because Wendy, he actually used his ultimate there to try and get the wave clear when there was no minions, which meant there was one more opportunity for them to get that engage as well.
Look at that mid get diff right now. I mean, 10.2 to 7K. Wendy, you were talking about trying to make those plays, but man, he is really struggling at this stage. They're down 6.7, but a lot of that is kind of in this mid lane.
And they need the damage. And Mucci, his strength is single target damage, and right now, Nova, can they steal this away?
Yeah, CY's in that one. The Overlord, the potential steal, and now with that stun, Musan King takes the Overlord. HBSE taking everything this game.
And here's what's going to happen for HBSE. They're going to start making sure that the waves are going to be synchronized. 3 lanes at the same time. Nova cannot defend this. You have the defense by Wendy, that's AoE, but no one else, maybe Wave Hit. Everyone else is a single target damage biggie.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, right? And I mean, the way that HBSE have been playing this with all 3 lanes pushing it out at the same time, it's like a well-choreographed ballet at the end of the day.
Yeah, man, this will be a symphony of skills here because take a look at what Nova is. They have to group up, and this is a perfect situation for Musan King to dive in, or maybe even Guyu as well.
Yeah, they're looking to go for this one. I mean, Nova, I don't even think they can defend. They've been completely pushed away. They take the top T3, the bottom was sieging as well, and now HBSE looking to close out this game.
And we are very near that 2-0 now. Nova trying to defend with their life.
He goes right to the back line, finds him, but Wendy goes golden. He's going to stay alive just for now. He's going to be picked off, and now with the infinite fastness, it looks like Mucci's going to be back to safety. CY gets picked. HBSE taking everything from Nova as they chase it down. They take down Mucci, and more importantly, the Crystal is there. They have the Vanguard, and they will take game 2.
Dominant performance by the side of HBSE. Very clean. Every single answer, every single attempt shut down by the side of HomeBois.